Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's video, we're going to be doing the mods. This has been a question that we've been asked numerous times. So today's video is going to be basically 15 mods that we've done to our KLR 650. Some of them are going to be things that you may or may not want to do, and we'll go into why we did them. So let's get to the video. Again, welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, I'd like to take a minute and introduce myself. My name is Dale. I'll be your host here on Heartland Dual Sport. One of the things that I want everybody to know, whether you're new or not, I want you to understand that I read every comment that you guys leave. This video is based on several comments from our viewers who have asked, hey, what are some of the mods? I just got a brand new KLR. What are some of the mods that you've done to your bike and why? So that is what's brought this video about today. If you're wondering what this is, okay, because I do read all the comments, I've got to read this one, and I apologize, but I love constructive criticism. But this comment was left on our 8,000 mile review, and it says, I really wanted to watch this video, but your audio is horrible. You're not using a lapel mic to cleanly pick up your voice. You're playing music over the top of your voice and over the audio levels, and it goes on, and honestly, that's all I could just cut and paste over onto this deal. So with that said, guys, I want you to understand, number one, we're on a fixed income. I'm not a super YouTube channel, but my wife, I love my wife to death. She went out with her hard-earned money from working in the leather shop and bought me this mic. So test. And I put some foam on it, so maybe that will help with the levels. I don't know. I'm not an audio expert, guys. I just like riding my bike and having fun. So let's get now that we've got that out of the way, let's go ahead and get on to our mods. Number one, we're just going to kind of start from, I've got a list over here, so we'll start at the top of my list. That way I don't get lost or confused, and I'll try to keep this video short. I've done a video on it before, and it's the tire pressure monitor system. I think this is something that's extremely important, and after riding through the heat and seeing my tires basically overinflate from the heat, I think it's not only a great option to have if your tires are going low before you have a flat. I'd want to know before they get too full of too much air from heat and expansion and you have a blowout. I think it started out as what was going to be something convenient, but I believe it's actually a safety issue. So I'm really, that's why it's at the top of the list. Next up, been asked a few times, these are just the cheap highway pegs that we got off Amazon. I'll put a link down below. I've actually linked them in previous videos. Guys, these highway pegs, there's nothing great about them. However, on the long days when you're riding 300, 400, 500, 600 miles, it's nice to have another position to put your legs just to stretch for a little bit. I wouldn't ride like that all the time because I've got a bad back and I don't want my back taking suspension hits. I'd rather my thighs do it. So again, it's just something real quick to kind of help with the comfort level. While we're on the subject of the highway pegs, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I did buy the IMS pegs. They're not real expensive. I do like that little bigger platform, so if you're, again, trying to move around, stretch, if you're riding on gravel roads and stuff like that where you're actually going to be standing up for any length of time, those highway pegs, or not the highway pegs, the foot pegs being a little bit wider and a little bit longer, do make a difference, and I'm happy that I got them. Again, I went with the cheap route on them. I didn't buy the fancy aluminum. Next up, guys, and real quick, I can't do a video about the mods that I've done on my bike without mentioning some of the gear that we sell on our website at Heartland Moto Gear, and that's going to be some of the stuff on the carbon fiber. We've got the carbon fiber fork guards, these little pieces right here. I'm sure you can probably see them, and then a brake reservoir. A to Z Composites is coming out with some more stuff for the KLR, and I'm not going to ruin the video until we actually get them in our hand, and then we'll do a video and announce them to y'all then. But that is something that we do sell on our website. Again, A to Z Composites is who manufacture them, and they're allowing us to be a reseller for that company, if you will, specifically for the KLR parts. Next up, and I've done a short video on this, it's going to be a real cheap throttle lock. And this is actually handy as well. When you're on the long runs, Number one, I'll just tell you, practice with this on an open highway. Don't run this in town for your first time and lock it on, because you may freak out. Because it's human nature when you let off the throttle for your bike to start slowing down, and when you let off the throttle and it doesn't, it's going to freak you out, and you don't want that to happen in traffic. So do this, if you get one, use it with caution, but it is nice to let your hand, shake your hand out and just relax for a minute, because it makes for a long day when you have to hold the throttle all day long. Next up is going to be the Garmin GPS. You're not going to see it mounted right now because it's in my Jeep. I love that thing so much that when I'm not riding my bike, I've got another mount that I put in my Jeep specifically for the Garmin GPS. It is the motorcycle unit. It's got a lot of benefits. I have done a video on that. I'll put a video link up here if you guys are interested in that. I think it's probably one of the best adventure style GPSs on the market. I couldn't be more proud of that, and again, I love it. Next up is going to be the little mini RAM mount. A lot of people who have watched the GPS video, they keep asking about the mini RAM mount. I will have a link for that as well down below. And guys, with that said, any of the links down below, they're either going to be an affiliate link in some fashion or form or another. This small RAM mount is the only one on the list. This small RAM mount is the only one on the list that does not have an affiliate link type thing at all. But I want you guys to have access to it because it works great. It fits on that tiny bar up here perfect. So again, that's one of the other mods. The next up, while we're up here up front, we'll go ahead and talk about this. I have done a video on that, and that is the adjustable windscreen riser. It's made out of aluminum, and it's made by another guy who has a smaller YouTube channel, and I'll try to find the link to that and put it down below. I absolutely love it. It works great. When I was taking off for that first 2-3 week trip out to the East Coast, within 50 miles, I stopped 2 or 3 different times, adjusted the windshield. I got that thing dialed in, and it is a blessing to have, and I just leave it alone now because I'm always going to be basically riding with the same gear and helmet and setup and everything else. So I truly love that, and it is a game changer as far as having more adjustability with your windscreen. While we're up front still, I did put on the Uncle Mike's front fork brace. Guys, I rode a lot without it, and I've ridden a lot with it, and I can't tell that it does anything. So that'll be something if you guys decide you want one. It's made really good quality, but I can't tell that it's doing anything for me. Allegedly, if you guys are riding in real windy areas, and especially like with crosswind, something like that, it does give your bike a little bit more stability, allegedly. I have not personally seen that, so I can't say that it does. Next up on the list, guys, and probably the most easiest way to make your bike look really cool, kind of personalize it and make it your own, Heartland Dual Sport sticker. Get them right here through Heartland Dual Sport. Next up on the list is these little mini Velcro straps. I've got them mounted to the front handlebar, but these come in handy if you say you take your jacket off or something, you need to tie it to your bike. You can tie a lot of small stuff. I eat a lot of beef jerky, that kind of stuff when I'm on the road or stop for cheeseburgers, and I'm always getting stuff stuck in my teeth. It's a perfect place to carry 2 or 3 toothpicks. They're always up front and center, so that way when you get somewhere, you know you've got a toothpick handy also. So that's another great tool. Again, it's really inexpensive. I've used them so much to lash different things onto the bike. Just real quick, even if you just were stopping and grabbing dinner on your way to the campsite, it's just a couple more pieces and some paracord or whatever that you can just tie it on the back of your bike real quick, go to camps, eat your dinner, and then set up camp. One of the things that I have mentioned in the past, and I've done several videos on this, is going to be the Olight Mini. This Olight Mini, I've got about 4 or 5 of these things. They'll last forever, and it's just always a great thing to have. One of the things that I do like about this clip design, not only does it clip in your pocket and it'll stay there, but it's also got a front clip here, so you could clip it onto the bill of your hat, and now it works as a headlamp as well. So that's a great thing, especially if you break down in the dark, or if you get to camp late, you're trying to set up your tent late. I mean, you can clip this on the front of your visor of your helmet as well. I mean, it's just a great light. These lights are 20 bucks, and they're worth way more than that. And like I say, I'd put this up against Streamlight or any other light manufacturer out there. These lights are great. In fact, The last time that I went to the cabin, I left mine, one of them, and I knew I lost it up there, but I didn't know where I'd left it. I left it on the picnic table, and it was 3-4 months before I went back, and it had been rained on, it had been weathered on, been out there for 3 or 4 months, walked over there, picked it up, turned it on, and boom, put it right back in my pocket. These things are great. They're a lifesaver. Like I say, don't buy just one, buy 2 or 3, because you're going to end up wanting one in your car, your Jeep, your truck, or whatever. Leave one on your bike, leave one in your tank bag, and have one on your person, your pocket, leave one in your motorcycle jacket. They're just too cheap not to use them. One of the other things, since we do a lot of the GoPro stuff and we try to make videos, I did add this other, it's a 12-volt accessory port. It's just an addition to the ones that we've already got on the Adventure model. The Adventure model has a couple of different power ports. It's not quite enough for me when I'm trying to recharge GoPros, cameras, miscellaneous stuff. I've got all kinds of stuff that I'm trying to keep charged up, not counting the drone, and you can even use that to charge your drone if you guys got one of them as well. One of the things that I've done a video on, and it's been a long time ago, you'd have to go back to probably 2006 or 7, is the rock straps. Guys, there's 2 different size rock straps that we use. I use these rock straps right here, which are the big heavy duty ones. That's what I put my Moscow Moto top bag on. And then on top of the Moscow Moto bag, I've got another set, which are the smaller ones. I'll have a link down below for both of them. You can never have too many of these rock straps. They work way better than probably any other strap system that I've had, especially because they've got a bungee built into them. And then you can go ahead and still adjust how tight you want that bungee to be. It's truly a great tool that I absolutely love, and I've got them on my little CRF 450. They just work great. Probably the last thing that I want to cover in this video is going to be the tires and tubes, because that's such a subjective deal. Last year when first of all, if you're not aware, your stock tires, you're probably going to be doing really good to get 3,000 or 4,000 miles on them. So after you get your bike into the break-in period, especially if you're a new KLR owner, start looking at tires now. And I'm going to tell you what happened to me last year. Last year when I got ready to order the tires, I thought, hey, it ain't going to be no big deal. Get online, pick out my Moto's Tractionators and get them ordered. No, they were back ordered for like 5-6 months. The only tires that I could find that were in stock that I could get within a 2-3 week waiting period was the Dunlops. The Dunlops are great if you're going to spend most of your time on the highway or back roads or blacktop. They do okay in the gravel. They're listed as a 50-50 tire. Guys, I think it's more like an 80-20. I think it's more road oriented. And that's why I say if you're going to spend a lot of time on the road, you're going to get a lot of high mileage on these tires. They're averaging, most people are getting between 8, 9, 10,000 miles on them. I've got, as you guys know, we've got 8,000 miles on the bike. I did replace my tires early, so technically I've got about 7,000 miles on this. I know I can get another 2,000 or 3,000 miles on it, so I'm going to make the trip down to the Gulf before I head out west, simply because I've already got the Moto's tires. Moto's Tractionators is what we're putting on next. Another thing that I don't hear a lot of people talking about is there's a company, and it's called RideOn, and it comes in a little tube. It's kind of like the green sealant, tire sealant that we've all, Slime makes. But this is called RideOn. It comes in the same style of tube, or we'll just call it a little plastic bottle. But you squirt that stuff, one in each front tire and rear tire. When you change your tires, it's kind of a sealant, and then it also helps balance your tires. Also, I'm not 100% sure the technology of how that works, but the product's called RideOn. I have mentioned it in the past in some other videos, and it's something that I've been running since I had my DRZ 400. I've never had a flat from a thorn or anything else, riding off roads, back roads, rough roads. So I like the stuff. Now, I could just be getting lucky, but I put it in my DRZ. I had it in the Africa Twin. I had it in my other KLR. I've got it in this, and I have not put it in the Honda because I haven't done a tire change on that. That's still stock tires and tubes, so I probably should put some in anyways, but I just haven't. Guys, again, I appreciate all of you who watch and comment. I want you to understand that I'm trying to make the best YouTube channel that I can, and I'm using the equipment that I have with the money that we have available. And again, our goal is to bring a great video for you guys to watch every Thursday. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love to talk you into subscribing. Before we end this video, one thing I do want to hear from you guys, and I know that we've got a lot of different people out here who have done a lot of different mods. I didn't really talk about the luggage, but if you guys go back and watch some of my camping videos, we've actually got the Moscow Moto luggage that I prefer to use on the long roads. But what I really need from you guys, and I want to hear from you guys, is what is your top mod? What is one of the things that you've done to your bike that you're really pleased about and you wished you would have done it a long time ago? Again, guys, I haven't adjusted, or I haven't messed with the suspension as far as replacing springs or anything like that. And I know there's so many great mods out there that you guys are doing to your bikes. Comment down below, let us know what it is you've done. Other viewers would like to read your comments as well, and I encourage you, just comment down below, let us know what is your favorite mod that you've done. And again, if you haven't subscribed, love to talk you into subscribing. Again, we'll have another great video coming out Thursday. The weather may be cooperating, so hopefully we'll be out on a ride. I've got a couple little mini adventures I'd like to take you guys on. I'm still healing up from an injury from last fall, so I haven't been riding a whole lot. I think I've got enough strength in my ankle and my lower leg that I can actually make a ride without worry. So hopefully the weather holds out. It's raining today, but maybe I can get out and get you a ride video coming up next week. But until then, why don't you check out one of the playlists up above. We appreciate your likes, comments, and subscribes. May you have a blessed week, and let's go ride.